Babaji, could Baba please introduce the topic by just discussing mind and brain and the difference between the two of them, please?
Mind is your consciousness energy, or you yourself as the infinite consciousness. Brain is the biological organ in the physical body. So this is for now needs to be understood, and they both have a very peculiar relationship. Almost, I would like to say, like one is fuel to the other type. Like we all know that the brain is active due to the oxygen and blood that is supplied, but apart from that, and it is in touch with the universe through nervous system. So through this brain only, we have obtained, we as the infinite consciousness, the Atman, obtained the consciousness of this surroundings, body and the world. So that is the connection for now that we need to understand. Later, as we discuss more, so we might be able to understand more probably.
Thank you, Baba. Babaji, in most scriptures and spiritual writings, there's talk about the soul, the spirit, and terms like this. Babaji in his teachings has stripped away all those extra terms and taken it down to two simple concepts, the divine and mind. Could Babaji please speak about that?
Yeah, generally, what I have seen, whether people listen to a lecture, a talk, or read a book, probably hardly anything goes to their head when they come across the terminologies of Brahman, Atman, this, that. These words we tell, but what I meant always as an youngster, how I used to think, means like if I mention Bruce, means we must be aware that this is Bruce who is sitting in front of me. In the same way, if we mention the word Atman, we should know, oh, this is the Atman Babaji is mentioning. But if that is not known, again the knowledge will be half baked beans again. It will stop there. People will not be able to fully understand. So, through my experience, when I understood, I thought, let me use the terminologies of mind and the divine, because this mind, though in the beginning we all tell my mind, your mind, like that we address, but when it is your mind and you are not different actually. In deeper meditations, you will understand this one day, because that mind is combination of consciousness and energy. That is you yourself. How amongst millions of thoughts that you have in your mind, one thing is the consciousness of your own existence. You have to understand this. Consciousness of your existence means you always feel that you exist, you are there, but for a while you may not know where you are, in what form. So you would have identified yourself as the physical body, as yourself. This is me, with a name, with a status, with so many things that we add to these personalities of egoism. So like that we understand. But instead, if we try to understand, if you narrow down, focus on the consciousness of existence that is within your mind, though you don't know where the mind is for now, but at least you can catch hold of this consciousness of existence definitely. But for that, you need to become single pointedly focused. The mind should not be distracted. It should not be paying attention to millions of thoughts or visions or all such things. Then it will get carried away with those things. It won't notice from where this consciousness of I, the self, is coming. This was what perhaps Maharshi Ramana also often spoke in his teachings of who am I. Like our own Swamiji also told our Guru, meditate and know yourself. So these are very significant sentences which may people many times may not notice even after getting initiated into meditation. Means you meditate so that you know yourself. That means presently what you know about yourself is not correct. There is something wrong. You need to know yourself in the correct sense. You need to become aware. So with that idea only, first I try to take up only mind and at the most divine or divinity. God also I try to avoid much in my talks or question answer so that I don't give an idea of any personality to people. Divinity is like an infinite, like the supreme consciousness, like your own mind is infinite. Means with the naked eyes, nobody has seen what the mind is. You cannot show okay, whether your mind is here or is it here or where is it, inside the head or in which place is located. Nobody knows this. In naked eyes, nobody has seen. Only based on thoughts and visions, these two things are important that are in the mind. You recognize a mind. Just like today, I would like to tell through science, technology, or spirituality in any way, people conclusively do not know what the space is, but they recognize everything that is in the space. They have named it universe, galaxy, Milky Ways, like that they have named it. And whatever they come across, discover, they go on naming it for sake of communication that is needed. Though they know or they don't know is another thing. They will tell you this is black hole because for a distance in the telescope, a black substance like it appears and they call it as a black hole and it can engulf anything that comes across it like that. So that is how the terminologies are used. So based on these things only, I selected to use because the consciousness is the nearest word people can understand. Means I have also told consciousness means wherever you apply your consciousness, you become aware of that thing. Just like when I am talking, if all of you sitting there apply your consciousness means your mind, like a teacher demands, apply your mind here, don't allow you to run away anywhere else, be with me here. So like that, if you apply onto me, then you will understand what I am trying to convey. So that is the idea of using this terminology of mind, or at the most mind is made up of consciousness and energy. Except for this, I have avoided using any other scriptural terminologies so that I do not confuse people. This is in front of you. You see, mind, consciousness, everything is in front of you. So you can know, okay, this is what Babaji is mentioning. So for now, you don't have to bother Brahman or Putran or this or that, anything else. Later, you will understand once you realize, oh, for the same consciousness, the ancient sages would have used these terminologies. Like that, you will understand. For the mind also, you will understand. This mind is what I am. Because that is where the consciousness is arising of your own existence.
Thank you, Baba.
Babaji, are we then only aware of the mind when there's thoughts in it?
Yeah, you see, unless the thoughts are there, you don't even recognize that you have a mind. You don't know what it is. As I told a while ago, only based on thoughts and visions are there that you recognize as mind. More than that, you would never have thought of what the mind itself is. We haven't seen the mind itself is. We are able to become aware of all the thoughts and visions that are in our mind. But that too, we cannot show it to anybody else. We cannot demonstrate. These thoughts are there. This is my mind. This is the color of the mind. This is the shape of the mind. Nobody can do this one. But people seldom think about these things also. They don't bother about it because the world is so busy, that keeps them so busy to sustain themselves, to have some food, to have a livelihood, to have a recreation, to look for happiness in the world, and so on and on and on. So much is there. So hardly people have any time to bother. Just like one person bothered why the apple came down instead of going up. Hundreds and millions would be having such experience, but hardly they would have bothered why the stone, a coconut, or an apple, or anything fell on my head. Why did it happen? Nobody would have bothered. Like this, so many things happening around us in the world, natural things and truth. We hardly bother about it. Why it is happening? How is it happening? Like as a child, I bothered why is that we don't have happiness 24 hours, 12 months. Sometimes an unknown fear is there, sometimes an excitement is there. Why is this? Is there anything wrong in me, within me, or is there anything wrong with this world? I wonder how many would bother about these things. All those who bothered, they went for self realization, whether it was Buddha or anything, as Ramana Maharshi or Adi Shankara or anybody.
Thank you, Baba. Babaji touched there on the mind being happy. Babaji always has such a precise technical explanation for things. What happens to the mind when it's happy?
If you have observed, whenever it is quiet, in the serenity of itself, in the quietness of itself, it derives the best happiness. In another example, whenever you have like a sound sleep, when your mind is totally unconscious of any imaginations, any visions of this world or anything, then it derives the best happiness. If given a choice, you might like to go on sleeping for a long, long time. Unless you are forced, you have no other choice, you have to get up and attend to your duties. Otherwise, one would like to be sleeping for some more time because the happiness is there, because the quietness. This is what many human beings fool about themselves by getting habitual addicted to alcohol or drugs, which is totally wrong. Because here the process is different. Mind does not become quiet on its own because it is in touch with the brain and it is catching the reflections of the brain. When you have alcohol or any such drugs, that suppresses the waves of brain's function is temporarily curtailed, stopped. So when it is stopped, it doesn't have anything to reflect. It is not in touch with the universe. It is unconscious. Thus, the mind also becomes unconscious because it has nothing to catch from the brains when the reflections are not there at all. So then, mind temporarily experiences a happiness that people misunderstand. Oh, this certain thing is giving me happiness, and they become habitual. But in the process, they spoil the health of the brain and they are unable to live or die in this world properly. They are unable to function as a human being. Then they lose everything. They lose physical health in every way. They become addicted totally. So that is why any intoxicating element is wrong. Like that, my father taught me when we were small kids also. This sentence, you see, this is sitting in my mind. Any intoxicating element is always wrong to use. It is harmful to physical health, mental health, like that. So that sat in the mind. So, like that, this is there. So, this is what we need to understand, the mind deriving happiness. It in spirituality, this sentence need to be understand. We will be achieving a total quietness of the mind without harming the health of the brain. That means whenever you need to use the brains to live in this world, you can apply the brains. You can think in your mind. You can execute, behave anything normally in this world. Even a self-realized person can behave very normally. Like great people like Adi Shankara, Ramana Maharishi, Ramakrishna, they all spoke very normally about their experiences, what the teachings they wanted to give, and we are able to behave normally. I hope I don't look like a madman when I talk. you know, so that's what is abnormal. Otherwise, sometimes I have read in some articles, some scientists have mentioned for Ramana Maharishi also, okay, his condition was totally brain challenged abnormality. I wrote back, okay, this is the wrong thing. He was never abnormal. During when he was absorbed in his tapas, he might have appeared abnormal to other people outside who wouldn't have recognized what he was undergoing, what the experience, what the exercise he had undertaken. But after he finished, he was very normal. He behaved normally. He spoke normally of his experience. He spoke about who am I. He gave such wonderful teachings. How can you tell that he was abnormal? Not at all. So, like that, any self realized person also can be. The means the mind is there, the brain is there, both healthier. It is there for you to use in this world if you need, or you can remain quiet if you don't need it.
Thank you, Babaji. Earlier, Baba was talking about mental activities. He always talks about thought processes and visual effects. Those thought processes, is that the words, so the voices and sounds we hear as we think?
Yes, I have always tried to do these dualities. Mind always, it catches the brain's reflections, and with the help of the brain which decodifies, it is shown as a visual effect or a thought process. This is the terminology I have used. A visual effect means some vision, some picture, some personality, or some story, some dramatized things, or thoughts. Why this happening, why that happening, oh this is good, this is bad, like this the thoughts keep coming, millions of thoughts. That was the thought process I called. So for that only I addressed, it is shown, and the mind catches that vision and registers in itself and firmly believes that to be a reality. It never bothers to verify whether it is real or not. Like when we see a movie or read a newspaper, hardly anybody would think whether the newspaper report is correct or wrong, whether the movie is correct or wrong. We firmly believe in good faith that whatever is written in the newspaper about any personality, we firmly believe that this is the right thing, and we expect like that. But that might be a wrong thing. Any such publication might be a wrong thing. A person might have told a lie to attract people's attention. In the movie, also, they might be showing simply wrong things which cannot happen in the real life. But many people tend to believe whatever they see in the movie as the right thing. A person is real hero, a villain is villain. We firmly believe, though in the real life they may not be like that. So these are the things through which the brain's reflection, we are likely to fool ourselves without verifying, without trying to understand whether it is true or not. This is another one thing that I would have mentioned in my talks. If we are unable to apply proper wisdom, we might simply get carried away with whatever the thing. Also, I have told, mind cannot give the truth as it is because it gives only whatever it imagines. Like in Yoga Vasista, Vasista talks, a friend might appear as a foe, hey Rama, and a foe might appear as a friend, depending on your mind's imagination. Whatever the mind imagines, things will appear like that. And that we firmly believe. We don't verify ever in life. We don't bother. What is the truth? What is it not the truth? Something we must appear. Why is that? For Buddha also it appeared. Why the happiness is the problem? Why this constant cravings? Why the death should happen? Why an old age should come? Like that, these were the puzzle. Like for many in the scientific world, things should be puzzle. Why the earth should be going around the sun, why the sun should be like that they probe astronomically, scientifically. When they feel puzzled, that is how they probe. In the same way, our great sages of ancient times were also like giants of science. They bothered about the self. Okay, are we born with this body? Are we going to become extinct when the body dies? One thing is true, body is appeared and it is going to disappear is true. But then what about us? What about my own existence? Like great scientists, they bothered. When others were bothering about sun, moon, earth, so they were bothering about the self, mind, and the brain, buddhi, and the chitta, all these things they were bothering. That was the terminologies they have used. So I use it as mind and the brain. Through the brain only you try to apply wisdom.
Thank you, Baba. Babaji, with thoughts, they seem to come and go quite quickly. But when we have an emotion, it seems to be drawn out over a long period of time. Is emotion different to thought?
Emotion might generate hundreds of thoughts. It may, we can tell that it can act as a converter of energy. Through emotion, you might get deeply into a deep greediness. You might be sometimes, any person means, for example, just might feel inability to control one's own self from such an act, from such a greediness of a body urge. They might behave madly in the world. Every now and then we read the news. Some four people kidnapped an 11-year-old girl and they wanted to rape her. Even today, this is unbelievable for us. Whether the news is right or wrong, what has happened to human beings? But they are unable to control themselves. So it is the emotion which generates such feelings, such thoughts and visions. So it can, then if they are not successful, the same energy might get converted into an anger, furiousness, and they might try to harm anybody who come across them. That's how people become criminals in this world. We get to see on newspapers, news every day and night. Okay, what has happened? So finally, this is all due to lack of spiritual practices. As I have told, as we have tremendously advanced through science and technology, which is very good. So many good things have come across, but we have forgotten spirituality. Spirituality is such an important thing in our day to day life that we are able to control ourselves, we are able to hold back ourselves, restrain ourselves, feel the shyness. I have told the example generally when people are sitting in front of me, look, no, none of you would like to smoke in front of me because you have a respect for me and you will feel shy. At least once or twice I have seen that they will quietly get up and go out of the gate to smoke and then after some time wash their mouth and then come back again. But at least they won't like to smoke in front of me. See, that is known as the shyness, what Sri Krishna talks in Bhagavad Gita. That shyness is to be considered as a sattvic nature. Because of that shyness, you would not commit a wrong thing. So, if only people can understand consequences and what they are trying to do, these type of things, if they can understand with application of wisdom, then they will not do wrong things at all. They will feel shy. This is wrong. We cannot do this one. We should not be doing. See, that is what the sadness with the advent of science technology. we have forgotten spirituality. We start thinking there is a thin edge of difference between discipline and independence. People of the younger generation want to say that they want to be independent. That means they want to do anything. They want to live their life. They don't want any advice from elders, from the parents, or from gurus, anyone. They want to be independent. But in that process, they might be harming themselves. They might be dangerous to others. This is what happens when I tell when you are driving a car on the road, you don't have brakes or gears properly to control the car. You might be disastrous to yourself and you might be dangerous to others on the road also. That's how in this world human beings are becoming. They are disastrous to themselves. They also spoil their own life. And they are dangerous to others in the world. Innocently, many people may get trapped for their actions. So this is the reason for all emotions. Emotions generates all this thing. That's why I have told emotions can be your strength, emotions can be your weakness. Strength means with the emotions, if you are sattvic, you are a noble person, you don't have any negative habits and you never heard of this thing and you cannot get involved into this one. You feel very shy to tell a lie also, even you don't. So then such an emotion can take you towards spiritual truth. You might fall in love with a self-realized guru. You might fall in love with the divinity, God, and you want to go for self-realization. That emotion can work like a thirst power for the rocket to get out of the Earth's atmosphere. That type of thing might be helpful, your emotion. But at the same time, if it goes in the wrong direction, it can completely destroy you. That's why you need spirituality, spiritual exercises to control yourself.
Babaji, if we find the mind getting stirred up and then we try to bring the mind a bit calmer ourselves, is that a genuine improvement or is it just that are we just fooling ourselves?
Now, yeah, if you find that your mind is not thinking properly, somewhat corrupted thoughts are coming, negative thoughts are coming. So immediately you must try to divert the attention. For any human being, I'm telling, try to remember God, try to remember divinity, try to remember Guru. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said one sentence: look at the feet of an woman, then all evil thoughts will then fly away. Means when you look at the feet means you remember your mother, you remember your sister. If this is possible for you, how can evil thoughts come to you? So that is how you protect yourself from getting involved into negative thoughts. You have to divert the attention.
Thank you, Baba. Babaji, when we try to meditate, what's happening in the mind and the brain?
You are trying to keep the mind quiet, but mind is holding acquired habits since time immemorial that it has acquired. Time immemorial means maybe so many lives for the body would have happened many times, being experiencing the consciousness, experiencing as if it was born and it died, it was born and died. So in every life, even in this life, you all observe since childhood, whatever you would have come across, knowingly or unknowingly, whether they were good or bad, your mind would have in good faith absorbed and developed an attitude within. So whenever you come across a thing, so your thinking might be influenced in that direction as a positive or a negative, as a nobility. Like you all would have heard the old sentence, first impression lasts forever. Like when you meet a guru, first impression, if it is good, oh, this is a divine figure, that can last for a long time, forever. In your faith, that faith can That can be very helpful. In the same way, if you come across a woman or anything, if you think of a mother, a sister, today's people, it might appear as very funny. Oh, this man is very funny, they might call me, but this is what the culture we were brought up, we were told. Years ago, I remember, just for example of these emotions only, a couple of foreigners were visiting Swamiji, my guru. It was a woman and a man. So the cultural difference is there in India and Western, maybe things. They were making fun. Oh, in India, everybody asks, are you married and what is your relation, your thing. I said, "Ki, there is nothing to make fun. This is the culture we were brought up. Because we were told even a friendship can lead to any type of relationship. And that relationship better if it is defined properly. Is it a sister? Is it a mother? And what you adopt? You adopt a girl as your sister. Then your thoughts will be noble always. You will see a sister there. It is not a woman, it is a sister. See, the emotion changes here, the thinking changes. Just like you will see a woman, and you will see an woman or you will see a mother. These two things are different. A person might be corrupted in thoughts. He might say a wrong person, a woman only there. But if a person has noble thought, he will see a mother. So much of difference in emotions of a mind's thinking. It is the same mind. It is the thinking, but the thinking differs. So this is the lack of spiritual practice, unable to restrain one's own self, unable to have the not practice to noble thoughts. That's how the emotions can create havoc, or it can be so helpful to you.
Thank you, Baba. Babaji, when we focus in meditation, for some time the mind might be focused on watching, but then thoughts will spring up. It can be very discouraging because it feels like we've failed, that we've stopped watching. Is it a
Yeah,
failure or is it part of the process?
yeah, definitely. I needed to carry on with the first question itself to complete what it was. What happens in meditation? That was the thing you see. So now we have understood the thoughts coming and the brain's reflections, everything happening. And the mind's acquired habit was what I was trying to explain. Since time immemorial, mind has acquired these habits. They are all in the subconscious state, what we call. Subconscious state meant it is there as a symptom in a symbolic way, but it is not decodified. When you sit for meditation, when you close the eyes, the mind gets applied to the brain automatically. And the brain gets activated. It decodifies all the things that are in the mind. So that is when thousands of thoughts starts coming up. Visions or thoughts will come up. It's like stirring the mud which is sitting beneath in a glass of water. You stir that one. After stirring, then you filter it out to make the water clear. So that's what happens now. It is mind's habits are all stirred. All thoughts and visions start coming up. For a while, it could be quite torturesome for anybody who is doing meditation, trying to meditate. It could be very confusing at all. My God, when did I think so much and why all these thoughts are all coming, hundreds and thousands? I never remembered to have imagined anything at all. Why is this happening? If this is happening, how will I meditate? Will my meditation be successful at all, or should I give up the meditation? Is this not for me, or what? All sorts of confusions and losing of inspiration, enthusiasm, everything might happen. But we try to teach. First sentence I taught after my tapas was when I initiated people, think, though it is very difficult, it is not impossible to control the mind. That means if it is impossible, there is no point trying. When death happens to the body, doctor declares this person is died. There is no point in trying to revive. It is dead, over. That is impossible. But if there is still The life is there. The body is struggling, critical condition. So doctor keeps trying. They keep trying to revive, to bring him back to life till the last breath. Whatever is possible, they try like that. That is what the mind also. When thousands of thoughts are coming, it becomes so difficult for anybody to handle. For that, there is a simple technique. Handling means you don't have to go into a dual battle with every thought. Don't touch them at all. Just allow it to happen. This is important. Just allow it to happen means when thoughts are coming up, allow it to come. You just watch. Because that is the process, automatically it will get evaporated, dissolved. When you are watching the thoughts, you are not getting involved with the thoughts. This is the technology, science. Here, when you are just watching, that is what you have been asked to watch in between eyebrows. You fix your eyeballs and just keep watching mentally there. That means mentally you don't get involved. You are forced to watch the thoughts in a decodified way due to the brain's effects. The thoughts are visual process or a thought process or a visual effect will happen. You are forced to watch. That is the challenge. Here, the master teachers have patience. Dedication, discipline, and patience were the next mantras I taught. After thinking that it is not impossible, now dedicate means you have to dedicate yourself, set a priority of time, don't give up. I need this, you have to understand. Just like when you realize there is a time bomb under your chair, first thing you would try to do is to save yourself. That is the priority. The rest of all other thing comes afterwards. You will go for that. Like that, this is also, you need to save yourself from this calamity, from these habits. You need peace. You need to know yourself. So dedicate yourself, set a priority. I must sit down and do this meditation. Don't get terrified with the thoughts and visions. Just watch them. To watch them, you need to be disciplined. Sit down every day at that time. Be a disciplined boy. You will become restless if you don't sit. Just like if you need to go to a clinic, if you need to go to office, you need to do your job. You will be restless if you are unable to go on time, if you are stuck in a traffic. Oh God, I'm getting delayed. The boss might get annoyed with me, might be displeased with me that I'm not disciplined. This is not good. I must reach on time to office. You would be wondering. So like that here also, discipline. I must sit down every day. My master is watching me. My God, my divinity is watching me. I must sit down. Tomorrow, divine asked me, did you ever try? The master asked, did you ever try after this Zoom class the whole week? Did you try again? You must see that the master is watching and sit every day for meditation like that. That is discipline. Then have patience. Come on, cool down. Have patience. Don't lose patience. After all, the mind had gone out of control since time immemorial. Not one day's absorbed imprints. Hundreds, thousands, and ages, so many lives. In illusion, what the time has passed away, nobody knows. The time is such an illusory thing that can happen. So much the mind has absorbed imprints. For that, I have told the example. If you have $10,000, if you lose $1, it's very easy to put it back and make it 10,000. But if you lose 9,999, you have only $1, now you have to make it 10,000. So it will take some time for you to earn that much and make it 10,000 again. Like that, you have allowed not caring for these things since so many lives. Now at least you are trying to understand. Now you have got an opportunity. Now you have a guru talking to you about these things live. He's trying to advise you, fill you up with wisdom, fill you up with inspiration, enthusiasm. This problem is there in you. You need to attend. You need to go for a surgery. Doctor is saying, do not delay. Already you have delayed. One more life opportunity is available. One more Saturday has come for you. Until then, next Saturday, it will be 1 week is gone again. So I'm here for your sake, I'm talking. Whatever I have achieved, you also can achieve. That is the patience. Have patience. Don't give up. Think that it's okay. Today you have an upper hand or thoughts. One day I will gain control over you all and make you all quiet. All that you have to do is just keep quiet. Don't get involved with them into any fights or quarrels. Just keep quiet and watch. They will all run away. They will disappear. They will dissolve. Because that's an imagined matter. That matter will disappear simply. It has no existence value. It has only appearance value. So this is what you have to do in meditation. This is what happens in meditation. This is the simple thing that you need to understand, and understand the point of watching. When you are watching, you are not doing anything else. Then you will achieve the silence. When it is silent, then you have that peace, quietness. That is the real peace. When you have the peace, you have enjoyment. When your mind is at peace, you have peace.
Babaji, during the week, a few people have written in questions. I've got one
Okay.
more question myself to ask Baba, and then would we have time to invite people to raise their hand?
Yeah. Yes, we will have. So you can ask your one more question, and then we can take the other people's questions.
Good, Baba. Babaji, I've been watching myself when I'm working, and when I get tired, it seems like it's not my body that's tired, it's my brain. Is that correct? Or
It is likely. So because when we are working, body definitely gets tired. But it is when the brain also gets tired, then you feel stress. Feel that stress. Oh, enough, how much to do? Because simply without taking seriously of the results of your work, if you carry on, then the brain will not get tired. Means when the brain is tired, that means another thing that has happened is too much of load of the mind on the brain also has happened. You perhaps you might be taking things very seriously, everything of this world. Then the mind gets applied as a load on the brain, then the brain becomes tired. It is unable to take that load. So when you seriously think this world is terrible, like I have told, if you call this world as a very bad also, you are getting mentally involved. If you call this world very good also, you are getting involved. Either way, if you are able to withdraw yourself, like when you are working, you just work for sake of the work. Don't take it seriously in the brain. You are doing a duty at random. You are just doing your job. You are not worried about the result. Result is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to work. Work there. Sincerely you work. So then the divine will take care of it. Like that, if you go, then you will see gradually that your brain will not be tired that much, and it will not be mental tiring also. This is what we all have seen in our lives after becoming a yogi. The life is the same, whether it is ashram or whether it is a householder, any property, anything. There are good people, bad people, people wanting to grab the properties. Everything is there. If we take them seriously, it can be so stressful. But just because I'm not taking seriously means only mentally I'm not taking seriously, but physically, whatever I need to do in service of my master and my master's institution, that I will be doing. Simply, I'm not taking very seriously it into the mind. Let happen whatever the divine want. I just try what I have to do. People may find it slightly difficult to understand this point exactly. I try to repeat. Outside means through the physical means, I will seriously work out to overcome any such troubles in the life, surroundings, or to the institution. If we need to defend our country, type anything, we will work out. We mean business when it comes to my job. But inside me, in the mind, I'm not taking anything seriously. For people, this may appear very funny. If you are not taking seriously, how can you work? This is possible. I have practiced this skill. I work very seriously. It's like when you ask a question, seriously I will answer, spontaneously I will answer with all sincerity. But in the mind, in my consciousness, neither your question is serious nor my answer is serious for me. Because one single self, it exists simply. Only in an advanced meditation stages, people will be able to understand. Just now, if it's confusing, do not bother or worry. I'm serious when I tell that I love you all.
Thank you, Babaji. Babaji, could we take questions from people now, please?
Okay.
Namaskar, Babaji. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. Good.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify something. Am I correct in assuming that when the brain reflects on the mind has the capacity to decide whether this is a good image or a bad image, whether we should accept it or not accept it? Does that make sense?
Yes, it has the capacity, provided that mind is not confused, it is totally concentrated and purified state. Then such a mind can apply the brain to the best of its ability and understand the things. Because understanding and observing capacity, these two are very important. For this, I have also mentioned different people bring in their basic nature also, and then through spiritual practices, they gain, they don't get carried away at face value. They will verify, they will try to wait and understand. So, this capacity tremendously increases when you practice meditation. Then you will be able to decide whether the brain is right or wrong. Means you will be the master.
Thank you very much.
Namaskar, Babaji. My question is, do you experience any fears in your mind? And can we overcome all our fears if we meditate daily for an hour? For example, fear of the future, like facing the consequences of our actions, and fear of death, etc.
Now, after I have finished my tapas, I don't experience any such fear because I know what it is. Like a death, which is the one which is going to face the death? It is the body. But my consciousness awareness is there. This is fully no aware that I am not going to die. This is the body which will die. The I will always be there. So there is this fear is not there because of this experience for anything else. And also in this world also, because I am not attached, nothing belongs to me in this world. But I do my duty. When I am in the ashram, I consider this is my guru's abode, institute. I need to defend if necessary. I need to work for that. I need to fulfill my responsibilities. But consequences or results, I do not worry. Whatever has to happen, it will happen.
Thank you so much.
Namaste, Babaji.
Yeah, please.
Babaji, how to purify soul?
If you purify the mind, so that is the soul actually. You will realize that. Mind is infinite. You see, it is made up of consciousness and energy. But when corrupted thoughts and visions are there in the negativity, so that is the impurity. So when you practice meditation, in the beginning, if you were in this meditation, you would have heard me instructing, like sitting in any comfortable posture, keeping your back and neck straight, keep the eyes gently closed. Keeping the eyes closed, concentrate your mind and sight in between eyebrows and just keep watching there by focusing the attention of mind and sight. Do not repeat any mantra or name, not needed. And if any thoughts and visions come, do not get involved or imagine about them. Ignore, just watch them. Like this, if you can practice for 1 hour every day, then the mind gets purified. All those thoughts and visions, they will all dissolve. They will all, the appearance and disappearance will happen. Then your mind will become purified. That means the soul is now pure.
Babaji, during meditation, I have experienced some unknown fears. Can you tell me how to overcome that fears?
Yeah, this fear is due to an imagination because of ignorance. In due course of time, it will go if you keep meditating. So always try to have an anchor. Like if you believe in the divine, any divine's form, you can remember, you pray to that one and believe, have faith that that divine is with you always to protect. Nothing will happen, everything will be all right. So that will serve as a psychological anchor for you to overcome the mental fear. Or if you have a guru, if you want to adopt a guru, have that faith that the guru is with you. Love the guru, that the guru is with you and protect you always, take care of you. Then you will feel better and all right always.
Thank you, Babaji.
God bless you.
Namaste, Babaji. As mind operates through brain,
Right.
brain being an organ, it takes time to grow and mature. And later it decays too.
Yes.
Does time left for mind to fully operate is limited and even so for meditation also?
Yes. You see, when you are a child, what the knowledge you had, you couldn't have had it. The knowledge that you have now. You didn't have such awareness to think about surroundings, about certain things. Simply you went on believing whatever was fed to you. This is mother, this is father, this is relative, this is your world, this is yours, this is not yours. Even a small toy became so important that you wanted to hold on and you were ready to fight a war for the toy. But as you grew up, that became so trivial for you and you gave up. So this is just nothing. Like that, as the brain also grows, only along with that, the mind is able to think in that direction. So with that, if we practice spirituality also, then mind also becomes matured and is able to utilize the services of the brain in a much better way. Application of wisdom happens. Otherwise, it doesn't happen. Now, if anything happens to the health of the brain, either due to time limit or in any other reason, so then a person is unable to operate or behave in this world properly. He will become a brain challenged person. That is why we tell, even the saints also have always told, when the body is healthy, when you have the brain healthy, you practice spirituality so that at least when the brain finally goes away, if by then if you have achieved the total purity of mind, then you can get liberated automatic. Then it will be an automatic divine activity. That's what happened when death happened. So this is what the thing we need to understand. So brain is very important when you are living in this world and for a spiritual exercise also. Without the help of the brain, it will become very difficult to purify the mind also.
So time is short for the spiritual exercise.
ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ. ಈಗ ಮಾಡಲು ರಾಮಧ್ಯಾನವ ಕೊನೆಗಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಫ ವಾತ ಪಿತ್ತಗಳಿಂದ ಹದಗೆಟ್ಟಿರುವಾಗ ಯಮದೂತರು ಕರೆದೊಯ್ಯುವಾಗ ಬರುವುದೇ ನೀಲವರ್ಣನ ಧ್ಯಾನ. What I told him in Kannada is one of the saint Purandaradasa tells, now and here itself, do the sadhana for mind control and remember the divinity, because when end comes, your body is very ill and you are likely to be in a coma. How will you remember the divinity? Like that, the time is very short. A short time is given to be in this body. One opportunity is given for you to practice spiritually and achieve the truth. This is what is the teaching that we were trying to give.
Hello, blessings to you, Babaji. I'm new here, and it's my second day. And I have so many questions. All right, but I've always been able to see things, visions, have visions. I don't know if you believe in second sight. Since I've been doing the meditation on trying to focus on the third eye, been seeing things. But before even doing the meditation, my family and I also believe this. What we call second sight, being able to see things before it happens. Are these visions, the things that I see, are they real? Because I've had experiences where I see a vision as actually as I'm there, like I'm actually there, and then it'll happen. I need to know: is this like a fluke that happens, or am I actually seeing these things?
See, one important thing I would like to advise as a yogi, even though you might be seeing visions, we agree, but whatever is coming, I would advise you not to get carried away with those visions, because they can become stumbling block for you finally to know the truth of your real self as the one with the divinity. That is much more important. So when the visions come, without getting involved with the vision, just watch them. You can consider that as a reality, but don't try to behave according to the visions that come to you for now. Continue with meditation. Just watch them when the visions happen. Then the divine is with you. You need to go to divinity. This is on the way, some powers that are coming, but if you get carried away, you will lose the divinity. That is important. That's what my advice is.
Pranam Babaji. Babaji,
Yeah.
earlier you mentioned that in Yoga Vashishta, Sage Vashishta mentioned to Sri Rama, a friend can appear as a foe can appear as a friend. So the mind has the ability to create illusions. Babaji,
Yes.
can you please speak a little bit more about that? Because often when we are living in the world, our mind has this ability of creating illusions. How do we distinguish what is real and what is not real then?
Now you listen to me when I answer your question carefully. You see, mind means it is you. When you imagine, that means if you are not able to understand properly, you could be prejudicial. Means an immature mental imagination is known as prejudicial. Understand? So if you practice meditation more, spiritual exercises, then your mind will become purified. Along with that, you will become more mature. You will be able to use the brains in a better way. When observing power, understanding power, they both increase tremendously, then you become a matured personality. So this will automatically happen when you undertake spiritual exercises under the guidance of a guru and practice that wisdom. It will happen to you.
Okay. Thank you, Babaji.
Babaji, you said that mind is made up of energy and consciousness. And I am trying to understand the difference between energy and consciousness. I think consciousness is divinity, and energy, I'm trying to imagine that as the concept that we have read in science. Is that a correct way of understanding, or is there some differences? Can you please guide?
Yeah, it is the consciousness and energy combination is the mind, and that is connected to divinity. That means if the mind is a droplet, its ocean is what is recognized as divine. See, there is an ultimate truth. In science, they might have used a different terminology. For example, Einstein simply used it as truth. He said, when the universe expands, along with that, truth also expands. For the same truth, in our ancient culture, depending on the language and the culture prevailing, they use the terminology of tattva or divinity, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, because it gives us supreme peace and washes away our sins if we adopt the meditation in our mind. For that reason, they called it as divine. So that is what, like Manhi Ishwar Hai, also many saints have told. It is the mind which is connected to the divinity finally. This is what we have to understand. So, what science has told also may be right to a certain extent. They have used their own terminologies.
So, is both energy and consciousness can be seen as divinity?
Yes, definitely.
Pranam Baba.
Yes.
I have a question about law of attraction. This law suggests that our thoughts and feelings have the power to shape our destiny. Baba has also spoken about this before. If we are optimistic, we can shape a better positive destiny for ourselves. So my question is, how can we utilize the power of our subconscious mind, the deeper layer of our mind, to manifest our dreams more effectively? Should we write it on a piece of paper or visualize it daily with total focus?
It is through the meditation practice, and you keep visualizing one thing. Both things can be helpful. While saying so, as a guru, I would advise a statutory warning. You have to be careful. If you get attracted to this world, want any status in the world, it is another illusion. You are simply getting involved into the illusion. When you want to pray like that one, pray for the highest, the divinity, the divine that is within you. Then it can come true in your life. But if you simply want, I need to achieve such a life, I need to achieve such a life, it is you go to the factory owner and ask that I want to become the gate watchman. You could have become one with the divine like that. That I have told, the guru wants to give you supermarket, but if you ask, you might end up asking only a small chocolate. So you have to be careful. Got it?
Yes, Baba. Thank you.
Good. One moment, we will take the other question. Ambaji has a question here. So I will take her question and then I will come back to the next questionnaire, please. Yes, Ambaji.
Baba, I was just, when you were saying about the mind purification, the meditation purifies the mind. Is there any other way to purify the mind? Does the seva or seva sadhana, means sadhana done by the seva, does this also help to purify the mind?
Yeah, meditation, when I said, not necessary that you have to sit down and keep your eyes closed and meditate. There are other ways also, karma yoga, bhakti yoga. Like karma yoga, you serve without expecting any results or any appreciation, even just for sake of serving you serve. Then your mind remains purified. That also can purify your mind and can elevate you towards self-realization. One day karma yoga can happen. Otherwise, Bhakti Marga also, you want to remember divinity or the ultimate truth in any form, in any name, as a guru, as a guru's name also, you can practice that. Means in life, you try to see your God in everything as everything. Such a thing also can purify your mind when this happens. So that also can elevate you towards divinity.
Thank you, ma'am.
From Babaji. I have a question where when I'm doing meditation, my problems come into life actually, and then I try finding solutions while doing the meditation. Usually, those kind of things happen whenever I do meditation. When I'm calm, I'm trying to be composed, but suddenly all the problems comes to mind, and then I try finding solutions to the problem while doing the meditation. What is the best way to tackle this?
Yeah, because these things can be disturbing. The meditation may not progress. After the meditation, you can better think about the problems and work out for a solution. During meditation, you must keep it aside. Think yourself positively. I can attend to these problems after meditation, but not during meditation. Because during meditation, you have to meditate. That is important. If you are eating, just eat your food peacefully. After the food, you can look into the problem. Positively think like that. Practice, and after some time, you will be firmly just watch in between eyebrows and keep watching there. Don't bother if any thought of problem comes also. Think another positive thought ki we can attend to this problem afterwards. Let anything happen. My God will take care of it. I don't have to bother. Like that, assure yourself and get back to the job of just watching. Slowly, your mind will pick up that habit of meditating, and it will give up unnecessarily thinking when it is not needed. I'll pray for you.
Thank you, Babaji. Thank you.